Hey, welcome to another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kaitlyn and I'm a certified and trained numerologist. Today, let's talk about karmic debts. What is a karmic debt? How do you know if you have one? And if you do, what does it mean? So let's start with what is a karmic debt? A karmic debt is an extra emphasis on the energy to which the karmic debt is attached. And this can mean that it brings forth more obstacles in this realm of your life. So how do you know if you have one? The first and most obvious way is to look at what day of the month you were born. Now, the day of the month that you were born also represents what your birthday or sub-lesson is, and this is the fourth strongest energy in your chart. So if you were born on the 13th, 14th, 16th, or 19th of the month, you have a karmic debt. The next way to identify a potential karmic debt is to look at the life path. Now, to calculate your life path, you need the full birthday. So that's the month, the day, and the year. Now, the trick to this is to treat each section, the month, the day, and the year, separately before adding them together. So what does this mean? First, you take the month. Let's say you were born in October. You would do 1 plus 0 equals 1, so that you would be adding just 1 to the other parts. So let's take the birthday, November 14th, 1974. We have November, which is 11, and that's a master number, so we don't distill that down to a 2, we keep it as an 11. Then we have 14, which, if you recall, is actually a karmic debt. So in this instance, the sub-lesson is the 14 karmic debt. However, we are distilling the 14 down to a 5 for the day, and then the year 1974 distills down to a 3. So then we add 11 plus 5 plus 3, and we get a 19. 19 is a karmic number. So what we say is that is a 19-1 or a 119, some people say. This is a karmic life path number. Now, I know I went through that calculation rather quickly, and it's because it's not really the focus of this video. However, if you want to understand more how to actually calculate the life path properly, then I have videos on this, and I also have a blog post that is pretty easy to follow along with. So I have those linked down below if you want to learn more about how to calculate the life path properly. Finally, a karmic debt can arise from your name in one of two ways, either through the expression, which is all the letters of your name, or through the soul urge, which is the vowels of your full name. Let's start with the expression number, and let's take Briar Ann Nole, which is the name of this gorgeous dancer. So Briar distills down to a 3, Anne, the way she spells it, distills down to a 7, and Nole distills down to a 3. So we have 3 plus 7 plus 3, and that equals 13, and that's a 13-4 karmic debt. If we were to look at the soul urge, which is just looking at the vowels, let's look at Queen's guitar player Brian Harold May. Brian distills down to a 1, Harold distills down to a 7, and May distills down to an 8. So we have 1 plus 7 plus 8, that's 16, and that's the 16-7 karmic debt. So these are the 4 aspects of the chart where karmic debt can show up. That's the life path, the sub-lesson, expression, or soul urge. And these are the ways to calculate it. And of course, I have more information on how to actually calculate these, because I know I've gone through them pretty quickly on my website and in other videos. So let's say you have discovered a karmic debt in your chart. What do they mean? And let's go through each one by one. So let's start with the karmic debt associated with the 1. That's the 19-1. This karmic debt is all about learning how to stand up for yourself without bulldozing other people. It's about embracing interdependence on the road to success, but it can also feel like there are a lot of difficulties lurking around every corner. And the idea behind this is through personal struggle to learn how to reach out of your self-imposed independence or isolation to connect with other people. So really, this is about finding the balance between independence and engaging with others. Now, the 413 karmic debt is all about creating a sense of stability and focus in your life. There is an emphasis here on learning how to develop step-by-step processes in order to reach your goals or to complete tasks. There can really be a looming sense of insecurity in this karmic debt, and oftentimes this insecurity for those with this karmic debt is met with sort of resistance, this need to put up a defense, to put up a wall so that other people don't see your flaws. A lot of the time, 413s can present themselves in a kind of intimidating manner, so as to prevent other people from questioning anything that they say, so that people don't prod too much and eventually discover that you don't have all the answers. It's an interesting mix of both self-doubt and self-righteousness. But really, this is about melting into the flow of life and yet also working consistently towards a task or goal that you have. And this is where your confidence really comes from. Okay, now let's talk about the 514 karmic debt. This karmic debt is all about embracing all that life has to offer, every single experience, but doing so with a self-disciplined way, a very responsible way. Oftentimes there is this tendency to maybe go overboard, oftentimes stemming from this fear and this need to run away or to escape or not to be labeled or confined in any way. And sometimes this can manifest into a sort of addictive personality. So that could be addiction to adrenaline type of activities like running marathons or jumping out of airplanes. It could also manifest as this need to self-medicate through food or through sex or drugs, alcohol, etc. Anything that can potentially become addicting can very easily become an addiction. So there's this real need to learn how to adapt to ever-changing circumstances in a responsible manner without using other things, other experiences as a crutch, because really that's how you lose your freedom. So again, there's that fear of being tied down. So commitment can be somewhat of an issue with 514s. However, learning how to commit to the right people, the right causes, ventures, projects, situations is the key to finding that groundedness that you need, and also that support to help you continue to go out and experience the world in a responsible manner, not in any way that traps you. Okay, let's move on to the 716 karmic debt. This is about developing trust in yourself, trust in others, and in the world, that the world is actually a safe place and is conspiring to help you. There's this real need to incorporate logic and intuition in moving forward in your life and making real physical and spiritual progress. This can sometimes feel like a never-ending cycle of destruction and rebirth, particularly when it comes to romance or relationships and career. However, creating a spiritual practice that helps you develop a sense of faith in yourself, and again, that the world is a safe place to be, can also help you really and significantly connect with others. So, do you have a karmic debt in your chart? They are quite common, so don't fret if you do. And if you're feeling brave enough, I would love to hear your experience with any of these karmic debts in the comments below. And of course, if you would like to work with me, visit my website www.lightbrightnumerology.com/services, And I hope you have a light, bright, joyous day, and I'll see you next time. Mwah.